Hello, welcome to Drinks with Ron. I'm Ron, and man, I just had 2 solid weeks off, and really, nothing planned, nothing much. I had a few things, but for the most part, 2 weeks wide open. And my ass laid around. I did a lot of sleeping, got a lot of cleaning and organizing done. The city's probably happy with me. I had some branches and some garbage and whatnot that had kind of been laying around the front. Don't want to piss off people who don't have anything better to do. Don't want to make an enemy of somebody with that much free time. That's all I'm gonna say. But I did have to go back to work today, and I didn't care for it. Wasn't a big fan. Didn't like it. No, sir, I didn't like it. To quote Mr. Horse. But you know what? It's pushing 10, and I'm ready to get to bed. But I feel after today, I've earned a beer. This is actually, I got a mixed 6-pack on my way up to the Wisconsin Dells this last weekend. Stopped at Viking Liquor, referenced before on the show. Moved everything around. They don't have the selection they used to have. They don't have the variety. I mean, look, man, it's great you got like 200 beers, but if 100 of them are IPAs, the fuck are we talking about? I found one fucking cream ale in that place. Not saying that there wasn't a second and third maybe floating around on the shelves that I missed. I could have. I took my time looking. Believe me, my family and the dogs will tell you they waited outside. I took my time looking. That's what I'm saying. I found one cream ale. Sounded delicious. I paid $11 for a fucking 6-pack of cream ale. Shells out of Minnesota. It's not too bad. I prefer Leaping Lemur. Also goes, depending on your distributor, also goes under Just the Tales. It's out of Hillsboro Brewing in Wisconsin. It is probably my favorite cream ale, but this is not that. This is Sweetwater from down south. This is, I believe, it looks like this is an Atlanta product. I've had a few things from Sweetwater. I thought they were from South Carolina. It's called Gummies. It's a fruit punch IIPA. I don't know what the second I is. I've said it before, and I'll say it again on this podcast. IPA stands for India Pale Ale, and that is a variety of brewing that started when Britain had the colonies in India. They tried to send their ales over, and they would not make the trip. They would spoil. So they realized if they added a fucking buttload of hops, not only did it bitter it, but hops being as also a preservative, when they added a shit fuck ton of hops, the beer made it to India. So it became an India Pale Ale. Don't confuse an IPA with just a straight pale ale, is what I'm going to say. I've had a lot of people be like, oh no, a pale ale. No, pale ales are fine. That is the malt they're using. They're using grains that leaves it a little more hazy and looking pale. So pale ale can be sweet, man. It doesn't have to be bitter at all. So all I'm saying is, if you don't like IPAs, and I understand that, don't confuse them with a pale ale. Give them a try. So pouring high, trying to release the fucking carbonation. People would tell you this is an improper pour. They'd say, oh, look at all that fucking foam or head. They would say I did a bad job, but I will tell you, I did this intentionally to release the carbonation from the beer. I want it to foam up real big, get that CO2 out of there, so that it doesn't release when it's in my stomach. You get that bloaty beer feeling, make a bunch of belches. You know what I'm talking about. You know what that's from? That's from not releasing your carbonation. Believe me, I did it for years, unwittingly. And I found this out. John Taffer from Bar Rescue does a great demonstration. He shows you to pour a glass of beer. They do a slow pour and they do a high pour. And then they roll up a paper towel into a little cylinder and they drop one in each glass. Well, the one that was poured slowly fucking explodes with carbonation. I don't know the science behind it, except I think, well, actually, I don't know, maybe I do. I think that's what I just told you. Science behind you not releasing the carbonation. Yeah, it was an interesting vacation. Staycation, a phrase I heard coined on the Canadian show Corner Gas. I haven't seen it in a long time, but a solid little series. Okay, now you can definitely smell the sweetness on the front end. Not super bitter, but it's got kind of that earthy, like a nugget, maybe a centennial kind of hop, something a little more with that dirt flavor, as I like to call it. I still haven't figured out what the second I in IPA is. Impressive, indigenous, idiotic, impotent, India Pale Ale. Yeah, I don't know. And my phone is currently being used as a camera, so I can't consult the almighty Google and figure that out. But what I do know, if I don't get this fucker poured, I can't get it drank. And if I don't get it drank, then I can't avoid the wrath of Todd Fine, and I am a couple bucks behind. Don't worry, we'll rectify it. And we'll also use that as an opportunity to tease it. We've made a few changes over by the tap. It's a dog, to carry over a trick from the podcast. If you hear dog, you drink. And that's 2 dogs. So drink twice, and then the over-under for dogs is 1.5, which we just hit 2. So also drink for that, that's 3 drinks. It's interesting. It's got a lot of flavor. I said the bitter. It's got a little bit of bitter, but not a boatload. Really more to that earthy hop. So, kind of, I don't know, fruit and dirt. It's kind of what I'm telling you. It smells amazing, but that hop really overrides the flavor once you drink it. It's really smooth though. I'm fighting the urge to use the phrase mouthfeel. Alright, come on down, dogs. Do it here. Alright, here we go. Jansen and Nash. Nash, who I've nicknamed Shithead. If you've ever seen the movie The Jerk, I'll just tell you that I have wanted a dog named Shithead since I was 2 years old, and now 40-something years later, he's kind of become my de facto shithead. So, he's rambunctious as fuck. And Ted Jansen is my age and dog years, so he don't want to deal with any of that shit. Ted, what are you doing? You are not going to shit right here. Ted, what are you doing? Are you circling? You don't take no shits here. You gotta go outside? Well, if you gotta go outside, fucking tell a guy. Ah, fuck. Well, anyway, I had some stuff, but we'll just call it short there, and I guess I owe another $1. I don't want Ted to shit on my floor, so I'll just say for Drinks with Ron, I'm Ron, signing off before my dog shits.